punching. Now, when the hand comes back, punch again. One, face in front. Yeah. One. Yeah. Leave your punch out. One. Yeah. The second. Yes, sir. Now, as you pull the hand back, step.
Remember not to.
Everybody got it? Yes, sir. So I'm bouncing 1, 2, and as I pull this hand back, then I just step that direction. Everybody understand?
Yes, sir.
I can't step before my hand comes back. I got to finish that punch before I position myself for the next punch. Everybody understand?
Yes, sir.
So you're pretending that your opponent is standing here. You're pretending that your opponent's standing here. You do 1, 2 punches. And then your opponent's moving over here. And then your opponent's moving over here. And then your opponent, see what you're doing?
Yes, sir.
You're in the center of the clock. Where is your opponent?
On the outside.
On the numbers of the clock. Everybody got it?
Yes, sir.
Now, this is a constant moving drill. So the only time I stop is when I throw my punches. Bouncing, boom, boom. See how I'm stopped? As soon as the hand comes back, I'm moving again. Everybody understand?
Yes, sir.
Don't try to throw your punches while you're moving.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
No power. Moving. Now I'm solid base. Then when I move, I'm back bouncing again. Everybody got it?
Yes, sir.
Moving. Stationary when you punch, back moving. Everybody got it?
Yes, sir.
Position.
Hey.
Moving. 1. Automatically turn. Keep moving. 2. That's it. Looking better already. 3. There you go. 4. Keep that footwork. Bouncy, bouncy. Bouncy, bouncy. Up and down. Bend those knees. Bend those knees. Hands up. There you go. Ready? 1. Bouncy, bouncy. Like a ball, like a basketball, like a rubber ball. Up and down. Bend those knees. Flex in those knees. Stay loose. Not stationary like a robot. Not like a chair. Move, relax. If you want to learn how to spar, you've got to be nimble. You've got to be light on your feet. Float like a butterfly. Sting like a bee.
Yes, sir.
Don't float like a rock.
Yes, sir.
Bounce. Be fluid. Relax. Bounce. Bend those knees. Flex those knees. Ready? 2. Automatically turn. Move back this way. Back. Back. Don't crowd up to each other. Back up a little bit. Ready? 4. There you go. Nice. Looks like a butterfly. 6. Nice. And relax.
Yes, sir.
See how that gets you breathing a little bit?
Yes, sir.
Now we got a lot of combinations to do. We got a lot of hand techniques, we got a lot of kicking, punching combinations to do, and while we're moving like this. What is this drill doing for us? 2 things it's teaching us. 1, endurance, because this is how you should be sparring, not like a stationary, not like a rock.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
But be moving so your opponent can't get you until I'm ready to attack, and then I step in, I'm solid, and now I want to be back moving again so my opponent can't hit me. So I'm going to go in and sting like a bee and then go back to be a butterfly, right?
Yes, sir.
So endurance, what else?
Make your stance stronger.
Say it again.
Make your stances stronger.
Well, that's going to strengthen your legs, so that's right, but one of the 2.
Agility.
It's going to get us to learn how to relax a little bit. See, most people, I've got to be relaxed when I'm sparring. What else can teach us to relax and give us endurance? What other drill can we do at home with a piece of exercise equipment that only costs $5 or $10? The cheapest piece of cardio equipment on the planet. at the cheapest price of anything?
Sparring.
Nope. Jump rope. How many in here jump rope? I guess you thought that was for girls, right?
No.
Well, if that's for girls, they're the best conditioned athletes around, because I tell you, you won't ever see a boxer or a kickboxer. Those both require a lot of endurance who don't jump rope. Okay? So we're going to do 2 minutes of jump rope with our magic invisible jump rope. Okay? Everybody see the rope down at their feet? Pick it up.
Yes, sir.
Pick the rope up. Got a handle in each one. Okay, we're just going to do 2 minutes. Here we go. And go. Nice. Good. Put a little footwork in there. Jump around. Nice. And keep jumping to this wall. Yeah. Jump, jump, jump. To the back wall.
Yes,
Jump, jump. To the entrance. Jump, jump.
Yes,
To the mirrors. Jump, jump,
Yes,
jump. Get the arms going. Move those arms. How about can we cross? Can we cross? Can we do it on one side and then the other while we're jumping? Can we do double jumps? Double jumps. Double jumps. To the sidewall.
Yes,
Can we jump backwards? Backwards with the rope. To the back wall. Keep jumping. Keep jumping. Keep jumping. Jump, jump, jump. Jump, jump, jump. To the entrance. We jump 1 minute. Jump. We have 1 minute to go. To the front wall. Keep it jumping.
Keep going.
Are we crossing? Are we double jumping? Keep the feet moving. Keep the feet moving. We have 40 seconds.
Keep moving, Alex.
Jump with
Jump,
your rope.
jump.
The rope's got to move with your
going.
arms.
Stop.
30 seconds. Let's pick up the pace. 30 seconds. Jump it, jump it. 20 seconds. Pick up the pace. Faster. 15 seconds. Jump, jump, jump. Double jump now. All double jumps. 10 seconds. Double jumps. Double jumps. 5 seconds. Double jumps. Double jumps. Breathe, breathe. I forgot to tell you to breathe. And time. 2 minutes. We got a 60 seconds more. We got 58 more minutes to work out. That was only 2 minutes. Anybody breathing a little bit?
Yes, sir.
You think jump rope might be a good cardio exercise?
Yes, sir.
Well, I tell you, you're going to learn how to spar. You need to have conditioning because you know what happens when you get tired? You become like a heavy bag. Just something for somebody to hit because you can't move anymore. You get too tired. You can't throw anything back. And especially the ones we have in here are going to feel that pretty soon.
Yes,
What
sir.
do we have coming up? Black belt test.
Yes, sir.
Let me tell you, when you get in there to spar, you're going to feel like, boy, am I tired. I think I'll just let my opponent hit on me because I am too tired to even block. You don't want to get to that point, okay? It's much more fun. You know, when you play baseball, anybody ever play baseball? It's always more fun when you're batting. It's not as much fun when you're out in the field. When you're sparring, always be batting.
Yes, sir.
Be the batter, not the catcher.
Yes, sir.
The catcher's no fun. The balls are flying at you. Be the pitcher. have them throwing your techniques constantly. Everybody understand?
Yes, sir.
That takes endurance. That takes training. It can't happen in a week. It's got to happen over a period of time. It takes a few months. And I'm not just talking about training for this next test coming up. But these are things for you because everybody in here has set their goal. I see the blue tops. The blue top means that you've set your goal for the second degree at least. Maybe higher, right? But at
Yes,
least
sir.
the second degree. So that's a lot of training even after the first degree. And remember, when you get to be first degree, now the training really begins. Because at first degree, you are now pre-framed, trained. Your body is conditioned to really start learning the more advanced material. That's why our students from first to second degree, it's only 2 years. They advance more in those 2 years than they did the first 4 years. Everybody understand?
Yes, sir.
Because your body is already conditioned, pre-framed, you got your mind focused, so you learn so much faster. We can teach you a lot more advanced material. But remember, conditioning, a black belt has to be in shape. And that takes practicing at home. How many are using their karate homework practice sheet? Everybody should be doing that. Put down what you're doing. Keep track of your training routine. See, if you want to get better, we always say you got to train like a... Okay? So back in our stance. Okay, now we're going to put our hands and our feet together. Our hands and our feet together. And did I lose my instructor?
There he is.
I'm coming! Okay. Back in your stance? Yes, sir. So now we're going to do our footwork. We're bouncing. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. So when I'm bouncing, I'm going to go 1, front kick, and a punch. Front punch, front kick, back punch, turn. 2, 3, 4. Everybody got it?
Yes, sir.
Now, notice we're not going both directions today. The only reason I'm doing that is I want you to get comfortable with one side. Once you can do it one direction, you can use that side to teach you how to do the other direction, right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
But you are going to feel real awkward when you try the other side when you've never done it.
Yes, sir.
Just like in sparring, you've got to be able to move both directions. You got to be able to do it off of this side. You got to jump change and do it off the other side. Everybody understand?
Yes, sir.
So you got actually 4 different directions. You got regular right-handed stance, you got a southpaw stance, and then you got clockwise and you got counterclockwise. Those are the 4 directions that each one of these drills should go.
Yes, sir.
But we're just going to be doing right stance, one direction, which is clockwise or counterclockwise. Ready?
Yes, sir.
Here we go. Right up. Let me see that footwork. Hands up.
This way.
Remember, okay, let's stop for a second. We need to offset our lines a little bit. So here's what we're going to do. Front row stays. Second row, move over 1 step.
Yes, sir.
Come over 1 step.
In the middle.
Not third row, just second row. And now the 4th row, move over 1 step. You can go this way. Move over 1 step. Okay? So that way there's not somebody directly in front of you. So when you skip in with that front kick, when you use your supersonic speed, and they're using their turtle speed, you don't give them a swift kick in the backside. Okay? Get that side stance though. Don't stand forward. Turn sideways. Here we go. Ready? Bouncy, bouncy.
Bounce, bounce.
Other leg forward. Jab, front leg, front kick, cross. So front punch, front kick, back punch. Ready? 1. Automatically turn. Turn that way. Keep bouncing. 2. Automatically turn. Position yourself so you don't have anybody in somebody's too close, either back up or move over. Going this direction or that direction. Ready? And 3. There you go. Then this time. Here we go. It'll be sideways. Keep bouncing. Bouncing. 4. And relax.
Yes, sir.
Okay, feeling pretty comfortable with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, looking smoother. Okay, this time we're going to do the same front punch, but instead of the front kick, we're going to do the front round kick. Everybody got it?
Yes, sir.
And then we finish with the back punch. Here we go. Stance. Front work. Change stance. Change your stance. Bouncy, bouncy. And 1. Front punch, front leg round kick, back punch. Ready? And 2. Ready? Positions. Move over a little bit so you don't have him in your face. There you go. Ready? 3. 1. Stand, stand. There you go. Technique. Don't get lost. Jab, show me a front punch. Show me a front leg round kick. That's a hook kick. Show me a round kick. Round kick. That's it. And then a back punch. Good job. Okay. Bouncy, 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 bouncy. Ready? And 3. Sideways, don't face forward, turn sideways. Now let's go a little faster. Ready? 1. Get over there, get over there. 2. You gotta pick up the You gotta get around there. 3. You gotta pick up the 4. Don't get left behind.
Kick, punch. That way.
Now, front punch, front leg side kick, back punch.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
orange belt, some of these kicks you're not as familiar with, okay? Do the best you can, okay? You know the side kick, right? Change your stance, though. Here we go, start bouncing. Front punch, front leg side kick, back punch. 1. Automatically turn. Front punch, front leg side kick. 2. Okay, get around there. There you go. Ready? And stop, 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 stop. There we go. And 3. 1. Good. And let's pick up the speed on it this time. Stay with it. Here we go. It's a front punch, it's a side kick, and it's a back punch. 1. Move up, move up. Bouncy, bouncy, bouncy.
Keep going.
And 2.
Break.
Pick up higher. We're not kicking bunny rabbits in here. I want to see some higher kicks. Ready? 3.
Go. Punch. Kick.
Get those kicks up.
Now the front door. Front door.
Ready? 4.
Same thing.
And relax.
Yes, sir.
What is the foundation of kicking? Yes, sir. Focus is important. Stance.
Pivot, sir.
Pivot. Balance. Good job. How come our littlest has to come up with the answer? Give her a big hand. You've got to learn to stand on one leg as well as everybody else does on 2. And some of you haven't even been standing on 2 legs that long. So, let's pick up our front kick. Pick up your front kick.
Yes, sir.
Hold that front kick up. Now let's count to 10. 1, 2,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
down.
Yes, sir.
Anybody feel wobbly? should you be able to stand on that leg? Say it again. An hour? Oh, I like him. Give him a hand. Okay, you want to stand over there, and then when the hour's up, we'll have you come back, okay? Okay, you'll want to start 10 seconds first. If I can't do 10 seconds, I'm surely not going to be able to go a minute, but that's my goal, a minute. Okay, and then I want to go to 3 sets of a minute. And what do I want to do that with? Front kick, what else? Side kick, what else? Those are the only 3 you have to do. If you can do those 3 kicks, and you can hold each one of them for a minute without losing balance, then you have black belt balance. Okay? Watch when you hold the leg. There's 2 leg positions on the front kick. Pick it up. Both hands on the knee. That's one position. When you do it, put the foot down. And the second one is, this hand grabs the ankle, the other arm comes across the body and grabs the knee. When you're in this position, this is designed as a balance, strengthening, balancing. It's a balance, stretching, and strengthening exercise. She's balancing, strengthening the supporting leg, because all the weight's on that one leg now. It gets tired quicker. Now she's strengthening her arm. I can feel the arm flex, but now she's going to pull. Oh, look how much farther she came up. She was sandbagging. So now she's pulling that knee up, using that muscle. And then that leg is going to come all the way to what? Till the heel touches the leg. That stretches the top of the leg. When she pulls this one up, what does that stretch? The back of the leg. Everybody understand? Yes. Okay, put it down. Let's try it. You can do either hand position, your call. Ready? Pick it up. Pull it in though, stretch it. And count. 1,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Change legs. Let's pretend this is not a moving picture, but a still picture. That was a very interesting moving action movie picture. Let's see if we can get a still shot with the other leg. Pick it up.
Yes, sir.
Count to 10. Go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
And down. Now, what happens if your leg drops before 10? Yes, ma'am?
You lose balance.
Well, yeah. You get it back up. Don't just put it down on the ground and give up. Because what's our goal? To hold it for the 10 seconds. If I keep bringing it back up, I'll eventually get there. When I get to 10 seconds, what's my next goal?
A minute.
Well, we might want to go to 20 seconds. And then our next goal, 30 seconds. And then what's our next goal?
40 seconds.
40 seconds. And then what's our next goal? 50 seconds. And then what's our final goal?
1 minute.
1 hour.
1
That's what he said.
1 year.
1 minute, okay? So, we got to do that on a front kick, a side kick, and a round kick. Which do you think is the easiest? The easiest was the front kick, and that was looking a little bit like a movie picture, right? Okay, let's see the side kick. Pick it up. Watch when you do the side kick. Now, you got to use 2 arms. Okay, she's going to pick this leg up, pull it into a side kick position, reach down and grab the heel, and this arm is going to grab the knee. See the position? Everybody got it? See where the side kick is aiming? Right down your rug. Okay, pick it up. Yeah, either leg, I don't care, because we're going to switch legs. Get it up there. One hand grabs the heel, the other grabs the knee. And let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Put it down. I think this side of the room is uneven because everybody's wobbling a little more. This side must be real level over here because everybody looks so good. And it's not just belts because I have a lot of orange belts on this side too. Must be, I don't know, is it the ceiling? What is it? Okay, let's try the other leg.
Yes, sir.
Pick up that side kick, grab that heel, grab the knee, not the ankle. You got to know your anatomy. Grab the bottom of the heel and the knee. Where should the foot be pointing? Right up here at the mirror. Right down your low. Don't have your kick pointing over there. Count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Head down. How many kept it up for the whole 10 seconds? Very good. No? Come here. I'm going to show you how to go from not being able to do it the whole 10 seconds. As a matter of fact, she could probably do it 30 seconds now. Which is your best one? You're right? Okay, we're going to do the leg. Put your shoulder against the mirror. Now pick up that leg again. Pick it up. Grab the heel. Grab the knee. Hold it. Hold it. Pick it up. There you go. Now that's it. Now, you see what the key is. What's the key to doing this? Yes, sir?
Balance.
Balance, but ankle down. Look, we have to have the correct side. Now you see how the side kick? See, she first has to be able to hold that leg. See, that's not easy, just holding that leg like that. And because it's so hard to hold that leg, that's why you lose your balance. When you get to where it's easy to hold that leg up, the balance is easy. Why is the front kick easier? Because it's easier to hold that leg up. The side kick, it's kind of awkward to hold that leg up there. So I use the wall. That's okay. On my front kick, if I'm losing my balance, lean against that wall. Pick that leg up until you feel like you got your balance. Then, if you can hold it for 30 seconds, because even leaning against the wall, even me leaving her here, see how I have to pull it back up and put it. You feel it?
Yes, sir.
Good job. Doesn't have to be glass, preferably not. A wall without pictures or something, so you're not knocking stuff off the wall, not knocking lamps over and stuff. Find a place where you can put your back against the wall, even if it's a door. Just make sure it's locked so somebody doesn't open it while you're leaving, okay? So utilize your balance, stretching, strengthening. See, when I lean against the wall, the only thing that it's taking out of that equation is the balance a little bit. But if I'm losing, if I cannot hold that kick up there for 10 seconds, I've got to do it on the wall. That will get me to the 10 seconds faster than trying to do it standing up for 10 seconds. Everybody understand?
Yes, sir.
See, it's not training harder, it's training smarter.
Yes, sir.
It's knowing what to practice. I can't make you practice, but I can make you better if you do the things I tell you to practice.
Yes, sir.
Everybody understand?
Yes, sir.
Anybody had a teacher that always covered a lot of stuff in class, and then you have a final exam and it's nothing what she covered? How did she expect you to get that, right? So what I'm trying to do is showing you how to make those things better. In other words, I'm giving you the answers.
Yes, sir.
But the one trick to it is I can't make you do it. I can't come to your house and check on you to make sure you do it. But guess what? You have your own way of checking. Our instructors have their own way of checking by you doing it on your homework card.
Yes, sir.
And writing down what you're practicing. If you just practice these balance kicks, if you just practice this little clock drill, you're going to be a better fighter, a better kicker. It's going to help your martial arts overall tremendously. Everybody understand?
Yes,
But
sir.
I will tell you, it's not like it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's a little bit of pain involved in there, right? It's a little bit of hard work. But if you want to get the reward, if you want to have a good kick, if you want to be able to have good sparring endurance, those are the drills you need to do. Everybody understand?
Yes, sir.
So that's why we tell you, when you come to class, we show you how to do it. But we try to get you to do it well enough that you can practice it at home. If you only come to class and you never practice at home, anybody in here ever take music lessons? How good did you get at music lessons by just going and learning something new at music, and then you come back the next lesson with no practice and then learn something else and then no practice? Your teacher goes, "What are you doing?" They usually will keep you on the same lesson because you didn't even practice it. Well, that's what you need to do with this stuff. Now, is this complicated stuff that I was showing?
No, sir.
It's not simple, but it's not easy. It's not easy because it takes some, you'll feel it in the hips. You'll feel it in your back. When you're doing this endurance drill, you're going to get tired. You'll be breathing. What extra exercise should I be doing at home? Oh, look at that. She knows all the answers. Awesome. And she's just a purple belt. Give her a hand. I was developing more endurance. Well, you know what else develops endurance? Sparring. But usually at home, Mom or Dad would want to jump in there usually and spar with you. And usually little brother or sister doesn't feel too much like getting into that action either. So, practice jumping rope. Practice the clock drill. It's the closest thing to sparring because it's giving you the endurance and the movement and the technique of sparring. Everybody got it?
Yes, sir.
Everybody remembers already that 2 minutes. Felt like an hour. Yes, sir. Because you're not used to it. Your body has to get used to moving like that. Now, I'm going to tell you, when you spar and you move, and I don't mean run. You're not like trying to get away. You're just up on your toes where you're ready to move. You're lighter on your feet. You're ready to move. You can attack quicker. You can get out of the way quicker because you're light on your feet. You're not like a rock. So be like a butterfly, right? And sting like a bee. Okay, let me see the stance again. Okay, we did front kick, we did side kick, we did round kick. What other kick can we do? How about a hook kick? Now, some of our orange belts might not even know the hook kick yet. That's it exactly. A hook kick goes out like a side kick, but comes back like a round kick. Everybody understand? It goes out like a side kick, but then comes back like a round kick. So you're hitting with the bottom of that foot when you come around, okay? Let's try it. Guards up.
Sir.
Going towards Spears. Towards Spears. Other stance. Other stance. There you go. Here it is. Bouncy, bouncy. Let me see that footwork. It's going to be the front punch with that front leg hook kick with that back punch. Ready? And one. There you go. And then change stance. Change your stance. You got to be going this way. Stay with us. Ready? 2. Yes, nice. That way. Ready? 3. Nice. With the front leg. With the front leg. Ready? Change it. There you go. Ready? 4. Show me that side kick again. And then it comes back like that. Okay, back this way. Ready? And 1. That was a good one. That was perfect. Ready? 2. Good for good for Yeah, he's got it. Ready? 3. Nice hook kick. If you see these guys with the white belt with the black stripe, they're not an advanced white belt. They're a little more advanced than that, so watch how they're doing it. try to pick up that hook kick from them. For you lower belts, okay, guards are up. And 3. I want to hear some yelling when you do that last punch. Ready? Let's pick up the speed this time. Here we go. And 1. And 2. And 4. And relax. And relax. Now, let's give our orange belts a big hand. Orange belts. They haven't had a chance to learn all of these kicks, all the finer details. But they have an advantage now because at this early age, how would you have liked to have been able to do this drill and all these exercises from orange belt? You understand? Yes. Now, remember, I was world champion for 7 years. You don't get to be world champion by not training. There's certain drills that if you do, make you better quicker. But there's no limit to how much you practice. When I was training, I was running 12 schools for June Ring. I was the senior vice president, training all the managers and instructors and running one of the schools as the head instructor of the school. At the same time, I was training 4 hours a day for my world champion kickboxing training because it takes a lot of endurance. My fights were 12 rounds in a boxing ring. They had boxing gloves on and foam pads on their feet, and they had one goal when the bell rang, and that was to knock me out. And if I got tired, they would have done that. In my 10 years of kickboxing, I only had one loss. It was a split decision, but in those 10 years of kickboxing, I was never knocked down, I was never knocked out, and I never got tired in the last round. If you watch, and a lot of my fights are on YouTube, so you can just put World Champion Jeff Smith on YouTube and see some of them. And you'll get to see some knockouts. Not me. But these were some of my training routines that I did to get my kicks higher, to get my balance, to get the techniques down a little bit better, to get your mechanics of the movement down. Everybody understand? Yes, sir! So keep track. Have a homework sheet there. That's why I started those homework sheets over 40 years ago. Because I wanted my students to not just tell me they were practicing, I wanted to see how much they were practicing. So when I looked at them, I could say, wow, you got that good doing this? Just think if you practice more, how much better you're going to be. And if they didn't practice much, and then I say, the reason you're not where you want to be is because you haven't practiced as much as you need to be. Everybody understand the difference? Yes, sir! If everybody practices the same, is everybody the same?
No, sir.
You know, it's not fair, but it's life. What happens in school? Some kids study more than others to make not as good as grades as some of the kids who don't study as much. Why? Because they just pick it faster. But the one thing you have to realize is you're stuck with whatever you are, and it's up to you to make you better.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Don't compare yourself with somebody else. Just compare yourself against the person you were last month. Are you better than that person?
Yes, sir.
You're either green and growing, or you're ripe and rotten. So that means you're either getting better or you're getting worse.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Or there's one other one, you slide along laterally. You don't ever get any better. And those are the ones that do enough just to get by. And then there's those that do more, they get better. And there's those that don't do what they're supposed to and they actually get worse. So always remember, be green and grow. Not ripe and rotting.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, everybody attention? Take a bow. Give yourself